the whole activity, any activity, whatever we perform, it is to actually have to please the Lord. That is Haritoshanam, to please Lord Hari. So the same attitude we need to actually reflect in chanting also. And now when one has this kind of solid foundation, that is to actually serve the Lord, even if one may not actually perform the details very perfectly, Lord would actually reciprocate. Because now one may say, uh, I'll compare two cases. One, a person who does not have strong faith or who does not have this solid foundation that I am doing this activity for the pleasure of Krishna. He just wants to do this activity because he can actually earn something or he can gain material prosperity, or even some yogis or even some spiritual paths, okay, they actually chant the names of the Lord, but not with an intention to please the Lord, but rather for their own achievements of some position. Let it be acquiring the yogic mystic powers or many of the siddhis, or their own conception of merging into Brahman. So they may utilize the names of the Lord. So when one actually dovetails all those things, not dovetailing, when one actually uh, keeps aside all those things and fixed in the purpose, that is to please the Lord, that itself is okay, is a solid foundation. And now if one has this foundation, but if one does not have if one is not able to perfectly implement those things, then it can be actually ignored by the Lord. But it doesn't mean, it does not give us the license that we should chant inattentively. It is only to compare these two cases. If a person does not have the solid foundation, if a person has the solid foundation but not able to implement, okay, so the second case is more than the first case, is greater than the first one. So, and also we can actually understand from the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has asked the prime associates, that is Srila Haridas Thakur and Sri Nityananda Prabhu, to actually go and give the treasure of holy name to everyone. Sri Nityananda Prabhu used to come to the unknown people over there, were not seeing their qualifications. He just comes, knocks the door, and when they open the door, they find no one. They could not see any face, but later they actually find a beautiful body, bluish hue body, who is as tall as a mountain. He's rolling in the dust before their feet, and he is actually requesting everyone to chant the holy names of Sri Hari. So that is the purpose of Lord Nityananda. So Lord Nityananda wants to actually make everyone chant. So when Lord Nityananda wants to actually perform us with that intensity, so how would the Lord Nityananda be pleased? Just by simple chanting of our Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So when we understand this, we naturally can understand that we are chanting this for the pleasure of Lord Nityananda, for the pleasure of Lord Gauranga. So this pleases the whole Guru Parampara and Radha and Krishna. So, so with this mood of service, we can actually approach the holy names of the Lord. So once I was asking, when I was living in Bombay in a base, there it's a base is a place where collectively few devotees who are working and but simultaneously they perform the devotional service. It's like a mini temple standards. So when I was living over there, I found a devotee who chants 64 rounds every day. So I was surprised. Okay. And I was also skeptical. Probably now he's not working. He's a merchant navy. So he's on a tour now. He's in a vacation now. So now probably he would be uh, able to chant 64 rounds. So whether he'll be able to continue this throughout his life or he just does it only for this. I had that kind of doubt in my mind. But I didn't say, but over a period of time, probably now it has been like 10 years, and still he's continuing the same 64 rounds. whether he is in job or whether he is not in job, or probably during his holidays. Every day he gets up early in the morning. Probably by then no one actually gets up. Probably around 3 o'clock, and from there he actually starts his sadhana of chanting 64 rounds, and till now he continues that. So in order to seek inspiration of chanting nicely, I asked him, Prabhu, can you please tell me how should I improve my chanting? So the first opening statement which he said, which still struck me, was he told, when we chant or whenever we want to chant, let us not actually have this attitude to finish the rounds. So let us not actually have कब ये माला करके मैं बाहर निकल जाऊंगा, ये कब माला मैं खत्म कर दूंगा. First, we should address this kind of attitude. Let us not approach our holy name with an impersonal attitude like this. So he told that point. So that is one of the attitudes which I still aspire to follow, or aspire to cultivate that. So, and another aspect which my father taught me in my childhood, and a year back, I have read this in the book of His Holiness Sachinandan Swami Maharaj, where he actually appeals the readers that whenever one performs any other activity, for example, if he is moving from one room to another room, let us chant the holy names of the Lord. Or probably if he finds he has to switch on the laptop, it will take a minute to reboot. So let us actually chant the holy names of the Lord. So in this way, he wanted us to actually chant the holy names of the Lord in every possible situation wherever we can actually. So probably one can question, now I'm actually working on a project in the office. I'm not able to remember the holy name of the Lord. That's fine. But when we actually take a break from the office work and go for drinking water, on the path we can actually remember the holy names of the Lord. Let us actually chant 2 times Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So this practice, this one he was actually suggesting. Later I was actually thinking, what would actually make a person to do this? Is it like a normal ritualistic thing? Or what was the foundation for Maharaj for which he was actually saying this statement? So then Maharaj, I understood one should actually cultivate the Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. So Vyavasayatmika Buddhi is a single pointed focus. So single pointed focus on the pleasing the Lord through chanting the holy names of the Lord. So when one has this as their singular point target in their life, one would like to actually utilize this. Like how a businessman, wherever he see, okay, he would like to actually earn more. Probably if I take about an LIC agent, wherever he goes, okay, he would actually think whether he'll take my policy. Or if you go to a stock market analyst from a Bombay, if he is analyzing a particular company, for example, a batteries company, so he would like to go and talk. If any person or any relative of that field comes, he would talk, how is your company performing? What is that? What is this? So at the end of the mind, he's always actually, his consciousness is, how can I know about that company? And whether if it makes progress, I'll actually invest in that company and make money. So making money is the target. That is a singular pointed focus. So in the similar way, one actually tries to have the attitude of singular pointedness, then uh, one actually keeps that kind of goal, then slowly one can actually do that. As a initial small baby steps, Sachinandar Maharaj was actually suggesting, why don't you maximize your chant, not only the committed number of rounds, and mostly what I felt is, after my rounds, when I chant like this, okay, then probably I regret, why don't I actually do the very same thing when I sit for 2 hours during the chanting time? So that actually creates as an awareness and a positive feeling that when we sit for chanting for 2 hours, let me actually do that. However, those 2 hours, however, we do chant, either because of our duty or because of our woes, or it may be any other reason. So, if that is so, let me actually prepare, let me give this time to Krishna, however, I am giving. I'm saying this is not the ideal mood, but this can be one of the adjusting moods where we can actually, how we, in that way, we can think. So, that is one. And also, one other thing, another analogy which is used, how can we actually have this single pointed focus? So sometimes when we keep chanting the holy names of the Lord, we actually plan for the whole day activities. So one of the senior devotees was actually telling, rather it should be the other way. When we actually perform the whole activities, we should actually think how I should perform these activities so that tomorrow my chanting, how those 2 hours I'm personally actually spending with the Lord. It's like the personal meeting with the Lord. So how I can actually enhance that quality of relationship with the Lord. So in that way, one actually can think. So in this, how one can actually do that? By not hearing the other related topics. As much as one puts the Krishna topics in one's ears, automatically mind keeps thinking about it. So that is one of the important thing which we can actually the message from the pure devotees of the Lord, like Srila Prabhupada and many of his followers, then the faith which is there in the heart of Srila Prabhupada or the pure devotees, that naturally flows through our heart and instills that faith. So that is one of the potent ways how we can slowly become Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. And the other mood is understanding that holy name is the shelter. So Srimad Bhagavatam in the last canto, 11th canto, I guess. It says, Kalaya doshe nide rajan asti eko mahan guna kirtanad eva krishnasya mukta sangha param brajet. So when one knows there are so many faults in the Kali Yuga, so when we understand that there is only one great thing where we can really take shelter, that is holy name. So taking shelter is a very difficult task, but when we understand the nature of the material world, for example, uh, when we start our journey, probably everyone is in their teens or in their mid age. So whenever we actually have enter our 20s job life, and then probably when we actually get married, we have children, slowly our attitude keeps on differing. I'm not talking about our devotee community. Probably if it is there, that can also be there in our devotee community. But I'm talking in general, uh, how the process actually goes. So when one gets married, they have to take care of the children, they have to take care of the parents, husband, wife. So in that way, so they seek shelter not more with respect to this, rather they seek shelter more with respect to the financial inputs or the husband's support or the wife's comfort, or over a period of time, they invest more on children. So, thinking that when I grow old, who will be there to take care of me but children? But when he actually crosses 45, 50, then he actually gets even more insecure feelings that I find my son's attitude is different, or my daughter's attitude is different. So I thought I have invested so much in actually raising them. Though I didn't say this, but probably I have this in my mind that in my old age, at least I can hope something they would actually help me out. They would actually feed me, they would take care of me. like that. So either one actually tries to depend on their children, or one thinks that, oh, probably children may not do much. So nowadays, many of the people actually say, as you don't depend on your children, okay, try to stand on your own. Try to be financially independent, even you actually turn old. Because you invest so much on your children, probably if your children doesn't respond to you, then at the end of the day, you find you are ignored, you are being cheated. So try to earn money, put your bank balances and utilize it. So over there, one actually tries to put their faith on bank balances or financial instruments. But one actually, even though one actually keeps going after 55, 60, 65, then slowly, probably from nowadays, it starts from 50, 45 itself. The diseases actually start coming. So now whom can they take shelter? Money. If they take shelter of money, they know that it is the only thing what I can actually give it and maintain the health industry. Apart from that, I'm not sure whether they can cure me. Yes, we should have the minimum thing, but we should not put complete faith in the health industry or the doctors that they are able to cure us. So when one is being cornered by insecurity issues, and especially when old age turns, they have a craving for respect. So when they crave for respect, because they have been adapted to for the 40 years, they are the commanders. For example, if a man, if we take, they are the commanders of the family. Nowadays, it is dual income, so probably that a sort of feeling can be reduced. But that is the ego of a male. So as he is the maintainer, he actually undergoes that illusion. And for the 40 years, the whole family was listening to his words. But when it comes to the age of 60, 65, the children are different. The age gaps and the thought process are different. So one may not agree to their parents. So the 60-year-old man, he finds uh, this is something not what I was looking for. I have invested so much. I have actually treated them so much. But at the end of the day, this is what I get. So this craving for respect always will be there. But if one really wants to actually surpass all these things, one should seek happiness from other source, not from all these things. So when one actually understands that from all these things, if I don't get happiness, seeking respect, or from the financial instruments or any other reasons, but if one slowly tries to develop, I can be simply happy sitting in the corner, just having some food and chanting the holy names of the Lord, okay, he will be the happiest person. So, but for that, one should develop a deep shelter feeling from the holy name of the Lord. So that is another aspect what we should strive, because all at once we are not able to actually get that. So we can develop that attitude over a period of time. This is our practice sessions till 60. So many actually do the whole efforts, perform many activities so that they can actually create a home, they can create some bank balance and good natured children, so that these can actually help me in the end. But by just considering the whole realities of this material nature, we can understand that Krishna, through his holy name, can actually give that shelter. And we can always chant the holy names. Even though we may not perform big, big services when we have this strength, but when one has the uh, faith that holy name can give me this shelter, even when I don't have the bodily strength, then his approach towards the holy name gets fortified, gets strengthened. And another example which Srila Prabhupada gives, what should be the attitude uh, for chanting the holy names of Lord. So in the purport of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Srila Prabhupada says, crying for the child. So sometimes we actually think this kind of feeling is not natural. Every time we cannot approach with this mode, that is crying for the child. Yes, that is true. We agree. So what we can do is, let us actually try to utilize our situations. We'll not try to actually create situations that make us cry, but there are some situations which in our life which will automatically come where we have to take shelter of the Lord, where we have to cry for some help. So let us actually use that opportunity to Lord rather than on the people or on the situations or any other factors. So, for example, and we all don't need to actually even discuss how difficulties come in our life. It can come in many forms: passing away of a person, our job life, our economic crisis, health crisis, or being betrayed by our beloveds, our relationship issues. It can be any form. So, if at all, if our heart gets hurt, so whenever our heart gets hurt or whenever we find sad, let us actually approach our dear friend Krishna. So, if this is our attitude throughout our course of life, then gradually this is our practice sessions. Okay, how to actually cry for the Lord. When we actually mold our life that crying for the Lord is our goal, then of course it's very high level prayer. When one actually fructifies like that, then the prayers what Kunti Maharani actually prays to Lord Krishna, let whatever the difficulties come, let them come on its own accord. Rather, I'll invite those difficulties so that I can remember you, O my Lord Mukunda. So those were the prayers which were prayed by Kunti Maharani. So at least intellectually we can understand that this is our goal. Let me utilize any opportunity in our life to actually cry for the Lord. And the most important attitude or the most important aspect, yesterday we were discussing, a group of devotees, we were discussing about the ninth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So in the ninth chapter, third shloka, Ashrashda Danasya verse, over there, Srila Prabhupada writes, faith is the most important aspect of devotional service. So, and without faith, even if one performs devotional service or engages in the devotional activities, but if he does not perform with faith, it is over a period of time, he will actually slip away from Krishna consciousness. So, and if one, that is called as the third level of devotee. So faith can be categorized as three levels. So third level is those who performs the devotional activities, who it seems that he is chanting the rounds and he is actually doing the devotional services externally, but internally, if that faith is not strengthened, then it is only a matter of time that we may lose Krishna consciousness. And the second level of devotees, that kind of faith is strengthened by he does not have very vast knowledge of the Shastras, but he has great faith that if he perform devotional service, that is a perfection of life. And he cannot actually quote this Shastra, that Shastra, and say this is right, that is wrong, that whatever you are saying, that is not correct. He may not have that ability. He just has simple faith. And this, along with the simple faith, if two more factors are added, then he will not go away from Krishna consciousness. What are those two factors which Prabhupada mentions in the purport? One, association of devotees. And one actually has the association of devotees, and because of their simplicity, Saralata, His Holiness Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj actually says this is one of the most important virtues one aspirant devotee should have or should aspire for. Saralata, simple, simplicity, no kutinati bhav. So we will not doubt the intentions of the other person, or we will not actually manipulate the words. It's simple. Prabhupada said, chant Hare Krishna, be happy. So he'll just take it and he'll try to follow. So eh, these are the two important friends of the second class person. If those two friends are always there, that is association of devotees and his own nature of simplicity, then he will not fall away from Krishna consciousness. That is the assurance which Prabhupada gives. The third level, he has firm faith in Krishna and he has firm faith in the Shastras, and he can also convince others through the Shastras. That kind of faith is the third level of faith. So the very same kind of faith, uh, what one should actually try to develop in the holy name. So one should understand that holy name can actually give everything. It is Chintamani. So whatever we desire, it will give. Chintamani is a touchstone. Whatever we touch the stone and ask that I want this, I want that, it will give. So, and holy name is like that. Holy name is Chintamani. It will actually fulfill all our desires. So that is why we should have that faith and we should approach the holy name with sincere spiritual desires. So then, uh, slowly, holy name will reciprocate. So now one may ask naturally. So this faith is an element where we cannot cultivate this. So today, if I think, let me have 5% increment of faith in my heart. So that is not possible. It is not that what we actually can purchase in the market and install it in our software of the heart. So then how do we actually get this? By reading the Shastras, we don't get faith. And just by simply doing arati, we'll not get faith. But what is that element of faith? It actually, one of the very powerful ways of attaining faith is hearing the spiritual instructions from those people who have faith. So this is one of the very powerful tools how to actually develop faith. With respect to this, that one should actually always read Srila Prabhupada's purports, Srila Prabhupada's books, because he has immense faith. He has infinite faith in Krishna. So when we actually hear Srila Prabhupada's purports, that faith will be actually installed in our heart gradually. So then slowly, our faith in Krishna consciousness will be enhanced. So even if we reflect our lives from in our past, how did we develop our faith? Initially, when we have come to our Krishna consciousness, we did not have such amount of faith in the process. Probably we have all kinds of faith in all other things, of seeking happiness, how to be happy. But slowly, when we understand, when we keep hearing over a period of time, gradually we develop small, little faith. That happens because we are reading Srila Prabhupada's purports. We are hearing from pure devotees. So that actually installs the faith in the heart. So essentially, the five attitudes, so probably six attitudes, which uh, I was thinking, I'll just summarize the attitudes. One, in the mood of, we should approach the holy names in the mood of service to Guru and Krishna. And the second, let us approach the holy names at least not to complete the rounds. So we should not try to approach or chant the rounds. कब मैं ये rounds खत्म कर दूंगा, कब ये माला खत्म हो जाएगा. So let us not actually do that. And the third attitude is vyavasayatmika buddhi. So trying or molding our whole lifestyle in such a way so that we can be single point focus. We will be single pointed focus. And the fourth thing is understanding that holy name is the shelter. So seeking shelter from the holy name, seeking comfort from the fifth one, the attitude is crying for help, crying like a small child, how he or she cries for mother. And the last one, sixth one, is Shraddha, that is faith. Faith that holy name can actually give me Krishna. And holy name is a personality. It is not like a normal object. Holy name is a personality. He has all the energies what Krishna has. So these are the attitudes. Now one actually is fixed up with all these attitudes. Then one actually tries to go with the details. It is like how uh, a person cooks, mother cooks for the Lord or for the family. What would be the intention of the mother? Mother would actually like to make the best preparation for the husband, children, everyone. So that is how best I can actually prepare this food so that everyone can actually happily enjoy, relish, nourish the food. So that is the prime motive of the mother while cooking. And for that, what one actually does, one actually chooses nice ingredients. One makes so many efforts to actually make the best recipe to please. but the basic intention is to please. So, in the very same way, attitude is the basic foundation of chanting. So, when one actually develops this attitude to please the Lord, and then one actually approaches chanting the holy names of the Lord, then slowly he would like to know the details. Like, should I add cinnamon in this, or should I put ghee or oil during the tadka, or how slowly if I cook put the tadka, the taste would be so much enhanced. So many details they will actually think. Probably mothers over here can actually tell more on that. So similarly, chanting the holy names of the Lord, we go into the details after preparing this solid mood. So how do I actually hear the holy names of the Lord attentively? When I keep chanting the holy names of the Lord, Hare, so we'll actually try to hear one word very attentively. In that way, we'll try to approach the details. And sometimes we feel sleepy during chanting. So then what do we do? Let us keep my back straight. Okay, and if I keep my back straight, that is one of the ways. And let me chant loudly. So when I chant loudly, that names will enter into the heart. Okay, because if I chant slowly, when I'm so disturbed or when I'm very inattentive, then it will not be so helpful. And there are many other ways one can detailedly talk about this. Like many of the people who get up in the morning, early morning, and sometimes if they don't have proper sleep in the night, they can actually fall asleep during chanting because of their bodily constraints. But these details are not what really Krishna looks for. But these details are the things which we really want to offer it to the Lord. Because though we have the nice intentions to cook a nice recipe, but if the ingredients, whatever we use, or if the whole intricacies, details, if we don't use properly, the taste may not come out good. But still, all the members of the family may appreciate our intentions. So there is no doubt with respect to that. But from our side, we will try to actually make in such a way that we'll try to take care of the details also. So one of the other ways is when we actually find sleepy. This is one of the reasons which one of the breathing exercises can be helpful. That is, when we actually chant, if we keep taking the air through the mouth, then there is a chance that we may fall asleep. If someone is taking the inhalation, that air, if we are taking inside through only nose but not through the mouth, there are some chances that one will not fall asleep. And few actually say one can actually try to see near the conjunction of the eyebrows. So that is a state where it is half eyes closed. So there you'll not go to sleep and you'll not be distracted by the external movements also. So these are all the details. So the prime most important thing is we should actually lay the foundation stronger. And then when we actually go for the details part would be a separate topic. So with this, I would like to conclude. So if at all, if I have spoken anything out of my realization, please forgive me. And I seek all your wishes and blessings so that I can implement whatever I have spoken. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, thank you so much, Prabhu, for this session. And yes, so we are thankful for your time. And it was quite a wonderful explanation about the three things which you have said. So, I request other devotees, if they have any question, they can ask. We have some around 10 minutes. So, if you have any question, you can kindly ask.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
I have one question. You talked about this. You talked about the fifth point regarding
Hmm.
the attitude cry for help. We
Yeah.
should cry for small help from Krishna.
Right.
The other day, I was hearing Srila Prabhupada's lecture, and he was mentioning that um, I don't know, but he was saying that in our heart, Krishna is there.
Hmm.
So, suppose if I need something, I do not need to tell Krishna; he will automatically fulfill it. So, I'm a little confused on this point.
Yeah, yeah, true, Mataji. Actually, if someone is able to do that, okay, if any problems come in their life, and if one has that conviction that yes, Krishna is there in our heart, he will take care, and let me actually do the activities which are related to Krishna, like how Prahlad Maharaj in Srimad Bhagavatam. So, whole Hiranyakashipu, he was tormenting Prahlad Maharaj. He wanted to kill him through many attempts. But Prahlad Maharaj did not respond. Prahlad Maharaj even did not actually seek the help from the Lord that please protect me. So that is the consciousness of Prahlad Maharaj. If someone is on that consciousness, one does not need to actually cry for help to resolve my material things. But certainly one can cry for the Lord so that please give me more devotion. Please give me the strength to chant the holy names of the Lord. Please make my whole environment so Krishna consciousness so that I can actually hear about your holy names, your glories. Let my all ears be engaged just by hearing your beautiful pastimes of the Lord. In this way, we can actually cry for help because we are in a state that we don't have the desire to actually release all those things. So we can cry for such kind of help.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So if there is any question, then you can ask. Otherwise, we can disconnect. So we all thank Prabhuji for his time and for the session. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare